If last week's episode had you nodding along, realizing that your summer reading plan hit a few snags, hey, that's not a problem. Noticing what's not working is actually the first step toward finding out what will. This week, we're taking that clarity and turning it into simple, doable action steps, because now that you've taken a breath and maybe reset those expectations a bit, it's time to look ahead and ask, how do we keep the reading momentum going without burning out? In this episode, we're digging into how to set reading goals that actually stick, the kind that feel fun and flexible, instead of turning reading into just another chore. I'll walk you through what really makes a goal work. Spoiler alert, it's not just about numbers. I'll also talk about how to track progress without turning it into a spreadsheet situation, and how to build small habits now that can boost your child's confidence as we head into the school year, without adding anything more to your already full plate. All right, let's dive in. Let's start with the why behind setting reading goals in the first place. Because let's be real, that word goals can feel a little heavy, like we're about to bust out spreadsheets or start logging every minute with a timer, none of which screams fun. But that's not what we're doing here. A reading goal is just a gentle nudge. It gives your child a little direction, something to aim for, without turning reading into a performance or a task to check off for a grade. And when kids can actually see their progress, like adding a sticker to a chart or dropping a bead in a jar, it lights something up in their brains. It feels good, satisfying, and that tiny sense of progress, it builds momentum. But even more important than motivation, it builds ownership. Instead of reading just because you said so, they start to see themselves as someone who chooses to read, someone who's growing their reading muscles, one small step at a time. And that mindset shift is where the magic really starts. Okay, let's talk about making reading goals fun and actually fit into real life situations. First things first, ditch the numbers game. Reading 5 books doesn't automatically make your kid a superstar, and reading that same story 10 times doesn't mean that they're slacking. The win isn't about more, it's about reading with intention. So instead of asking, how many books did they read? Think about how they clicked with the stories. Are they exploring new genres? Are they grabbing a book without being asked? Have you noticed them showing more confidence or curiosity as they read? Now you can definitely use tracking tools like sticker charts, buddy systems, or apps like Beanstack, especially if your school or library already uses it. There's also Bookly or Bookmori, both of which offer a great visual reminder of progress, and that can be super motivating for some kids. But I want to take a pause. This can also backfire for some kids, especially if the goal feels too big or if life gets in the way. The key is knowing what works for your kids. Take my boys, for example. JD loves a checklist and measurable goals. Checking off boxes really lights him up. Hunter, on the other hand, he just isn't into tracking. He doesn't have the patience to add stickers or color in little sections one at a time. He wants to do it all at once. And he doesn't really see the point of making progress slowly, but he does still love cuddling up for a story at bedtime. For him, a simpler goal, like reading for the next 3 nights, gives him something to look forward to. It also gives me a gentle way to check in if our rhythm starts to slip. I can say, hey buddy, we plan to read tonight instead of screens. What's up? Were you too tired? Was the book boring? And that opens the door to figure out what needs tweaking. Now here's the part I really love. Let your kid pick their own mini goal. Something simple, like finish one graphic novel, try an audiobook this weekend, or start a new series before school starts. And listen, this isn't some ironclad contract. If they change their mind or hit a rough patch, the goal can shift. It's not a big deal. This is just a little experiment to see what sticks. Now, if you're someone that likes to see this all written out, or you want to come back to this later without having to re-listen, I've got a full blog post version of this episode, and it lays out each step and idea in a quick, skimmable way. You'll find the link to the blog post in the description. Now let's walk through a quick little goal-setting exercise, something you can do in just a few minutes to give your child direction and help make reading time feel easier. Step 1, have them choose a simple target. This could be something like read 3 times a week, or try a new author, or finish that book that they started in June but never got back to. Step 2, pick a way to track it. Now this doesn't have to be anything fancy. It could be stickers on a calendar, a row of beads in a jar, a whiteboard checklist on the fridge, or even a simple app if that's more your thing. Step 3, decide when you'll check in. A quick Sunday night chat works great. Take just a few minutes to ask, how did reading go this week? What felt fun? What didn't? And then step 4, celebrate the wins. This might mean letting your child stay up a little later to finish a chapter, planning a trip to the library, or simply saying, hey buddy, I saw you kept reading even when that got kind of hard. That's really cool. Or, that part was tough, but you stuck with it. Nice job, kiddo. You can even set a goal as a family if you want. Something like, let's read together 3 nights this week. Keep it simple. Keep it shared. All right, before we wrap up, let's take a step back for a second. Last week we talked about resetting expectations, really getting clear on what's getting in the way of reading and letting go of all that pressure. That was step 1. This week, it's about gently adding a little structure back in. You don't need a full-blown summer reading plan. You just need a bit of direction and one small next step. If you'd like a little help figuring out that next step, I put together a mini goal planner to go with this episode. It walks you through everything we just talked about and gives you a simple, flexible template that you can use with your kid. You'll find the link in the episode description if you want to check it out. So go ahead, pick one reading goal to try this week. Just one. Maybe it's something for your child. Maybe it's something for you. Or maybe it's a small family rhythm you want to test out, like picking a book to read together a few nights a week. Whatever it is, remember, small steps build habits. Those tiny wins stack up. And the more you keep the pressure low, the easier it'll be for your child to head into the school year without that reading dread creeping back in. And hey, if you do set a goal this week, I'd love to hear about it. You can DM me over on Instagram at Engaging Reluctant Readers or shoot me an email at ellen@engagingreluctantreaders.com and let me know what you're trying. You've got this, mama. Keep stacking those tiny wins, and I'll talk to you next time. Next week, we're diving into one of those moments that can totally catch you off guard, when your child flat out refuses to read aloud. If you've been there, you know how frustrating and confusing it can feel. But here's the thing. It's usually not about defiance. It's about something deeper, like fear, shame, or just plain overwhelm. We'll unpack everything that might really be going on beneath the surface and walk through calm, confidence-building ways to respond so read aloud time can feel safe and supportive again. If read aloud time is turned into a power struggle or a total shutdown, you're not going to want to miss this one. And if today's episode got you thinking about setting a reading goal that actually sticks, I've got just the thing. I created a free resource called the Mini Reading Goal Planner. It's a super simple tool that you can use to help your child set, track, and celebrate a goal that fits right where they are. You'll find the link in the description and even more goal-setting tips over on the blog. Until next time, this is Ellen Westbrook, cheering you on through every tiny win, every messy middle, and every page you read together.